Hello students, we are going to study Biology chapter 6, Life Processes. When we see around us, there are many things: cows, dogs, frog, human beings, flowers, trees, rocks, buildings, even table, chair, pen, pencil. Which of these are living and which of these are non-living? You can easily say that cows, dogs, frogs means all animals, human beings, plants are living and rest are non-living. How can you say that some are living and some are non-living? Then you may answer because of there are some characteristics. What are the characteristics which say some are living organisms? So most important, when we look at living organisms, we observe movement. And non-living objects, they don't move. Like building, rock, pen, pencil, they don't move of their own. But animals and plants, they move by their own. Movement is clear in all the animals. Plants remain fixed at one place, but they show movement. How plants show movement? To understand movement in plants, we can take example of touch me not plant. When we touch this plant, any part of touch me not plant, all the branches droop. This shows movement. Plants parts also show movement by responding to different stimuli. For example, sunflower plant. In this plant, stem always bent towards sunlight. This is also a kind of movement. Roots always grow towards soil and shoot always grow towards sunlight. This is also movement appear in plants. But in case of rocks, buildings, they don't move. They are fixed at one place. So they are non-living. Second characteristic by which living organisms can easily be distinguished from non-living by observing growth. Growth means increase in size by cell division. When we observe a small plant, it grows from seedling to the whole developed plant. Human beings from baby to adult change in size. This is growth. Without addition of any substance externally, it is the growth by cell division. We may take the example of some non-living objects also like sand dunes, sugar candy. You can say the size of sand dune also increases. Sugar candy is also formed from single crystal of sugar. But in both the cases, the same kind of particles are added externally. Sand accumulate at one place and form sand dunes. Sugar candy is formed by putting a sugar crystal in sugar solution, and sugar particles continue deposit over the crystal and increase in size. So here substance is added externally. But in case of animals, no substance is added externally. It is only and only by cell division. So these two characteristics we can observe and can differentiate living organisms and non-living organisms, which says that life means living. So all living organisms have life, and those don't have life are called as non-living objects. There are many more characteristics of living organisms by which we can clearly say that living organisms are different from non-living. Along with movement and growth, nutrition. Have you observed that your table take food? No, never. Why? Because it is non-living. Is there any waste released from your table pen? No. They respire? No. They reproduce? No. They respond? No. And there is no transportation. So all these are the characteristics of living organisms only. Living organisms need food, and after digestion of food, waste is released. They respire. They also multiply, means they give birth to their young ones. They reproduce, and they respond to the external stimuli. Transportation is also one of the important characteristic of living organisms. Transfer of many substances in the body from one part to another. So all these characteristics makes an organism living. Therefore, all these processes are vital for an organism to live and maintain their structure. These processes are called as life processes. Example of life processes, all these. Or we can say those processes which are necessary for an organism to stay alive. All organisms require energy to perform these life processes. And how do they get energy? They get energy by obtaining food. They take in food and release energy. We take food always in organic form, means carbon based substances which release energy. And the process of releasing energy from food is called nutrition. So, what is nutrition? It is the process by which an organism take food and utilize it to get energy for growth, repair of tissues, and maintain the body. How this energy is released? When food is taken in the body, it is digested, then digested food is absorbed, assimilated, then food is oxidized to release energy. This energy is utilized to maintain all life processes, and the waste is excreted out from the body. How food provides us energy? Because food contains nutrients. So what are nutrients? Nutrients are the substances which provide nutrition to living organisms. For example, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. On the basis of mode of nutrition, all the living organisms can be classified into two categories. First is autotrophs. Auto means self, trophs means organisms. Means those organisms which are independent for their food. Means they can synthesize their food by themselves, are called as autotrophs. They are green plants. Here green plants only, because there are some non-green plants like fungi which cannot prepare food for themselves. So only green plants are autotrophs. Then second category is heterotrophs. Hetero means different. Trophs means organisms. Those organisms depend on different sources for their nutritional requirements. Heterotrophs are all animals, macroscopic to the large animals. All are heterotrophs. So first we'll take nutrition in autotrophs means green plants. If we say green, what is the factor which make the plants green? That is a pigment called chloroplast. So green plants are independent for their nutrition due to presence of this green pigment chloroplast. Chloroplast is present in leaves and tender stems. Those are green colored parts of plant can synthesize their own food because of presence of chloroplast. The process of preparation of food by autotrophs is called as photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photo means light, synthesis means prepare. Photosynthesis is the process of preparation of food by green plants in presence of sunlight and chloroplast by utilizing carbon dioxide and water. Sunlight is trapped, chloroplast is present in plant, carbon dioxide is taken from atmosphere, water is absorbed from soil through roots. In presence of sunlight means solar energy, carbon dioxide and water is combined in chloroplast and form food in form of glucose, and the byproduct released is oxygen along with water. So this whole equation shows the process of photosynthesis. What are the factors required for photosynthesis? Here in equation we see carbon dioxide, water, chloroplast and sunlight. These are the factors required for the process of photosynthesis. To understand the process of photosynthesis, we have to study the structure of cross section of the leaf. This is structure of cross section of leaf. Upper layer is called as upper epidermis. Upper epidermis is covered by a waxy coating called as cuticle. Just underside of upper epidermis, there are columnar cells. All these columnar cells contain chloroplast. These dots show chloroplast. Layer of these columnar cells called as palisade cells, and these palisade cells constitute palisade tissue which is responsible for the process of photosynthesis. Underside of palisade tissue there are spherical cells, and these are parenchymatous cells. These cells have intracellular spaces. At the center there is vascular bundle which contain xylem and phloem. responsible for conduction of food and water. Now this layer is lower epidermis. In lower epidermis there are small pores, and these small pores are called as stomata. These tiny pores are surrounded by specialized cells called as guard cells. These guard cells are responsible for opening and closing of stomata. Now we'll see the structure of palisade cell. This is single cell of palisade tissue. It has large amount of chloroplast and a large vacuole. This is nucleus. So this chloroplast is the site for the process of photosynthesis. Now we have to study the structure of chloroplast molecule. This is a spherical structure, bilayered structure. It has two parts. One part is this matrix called as stroma. Another cellular part is called as grana. Grana is formed by stacked structure of plate-like lamellae. Single lamellae is called as thylakoid. Thylakoids are arranged one over another like coins when we keep one over another and form the structure. In the same way, when thylakoids are arranged one over another and form bundle, this bundle of thylakoids is called as grana. Singular is granum and plural is grana. Grana is the site for the process of photosynthesis. Let's see what happens during photosynthesis. There are main four events which takes place during photosynthesis. The first step, the process of trapping of solar energy. So first is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll molecule. Second, this light energy is then converted into chemical energy. For this conversion, some molecules are required, and these are H ions. H ions are obtained by splitting of water, that is called as photolysis of water. So photolysis of water occur in which water split into hydrogen and oxygen. Then the last is reduction of carbon dioxide. By reduction of carbon dioxide, glucose is formed. This process of photosynthesis is completed in two steps, or we can say this is the combination of two types of reactions. First is light reaction, second is dark reaction. As it mentions, light reaction means the reaction which occur in presence of sunlight. It means it occurs during day. Dark reaction, dark means no light. So this reaction occur at night. So during day, trapping of solar energy takes place, then splitting of water takes place. So this is photochemical reaction. Photo means light. So chemical changes takes place in presence of sunlight. And here it is biochemical reaction. Means it occurs in the plant itself without utilizing solar energy. Then how this reaction takes place if no energy is available? Dark reaction utilize the energy which is produced during day, during light reaction. What are the energy molecules formed during light reaction? When water is split into hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen is received by hydrogen acceptor molecule NADP and it converts into NADPH. Each NADPH molecule can give rise to 3 ATP molecules. So, during day, energy molecules are formed. They are NADPH and ATP. These energy molecules are the source of energy for dark reaction. Here, end product in light reaction are energy molecules, but in end product in dark reaction is glucose or food. Then how this process take place and which are the structures responsible to control the process of photosynthesis? So they are very tiny pores present on leaf epidermis and these are called as stomata. So what are stomata? Stomata are tiny pores present on epidermal layer. Let's see the structure of stomata. Stomata are tiny pores which are guarded by specialized cells called as guard cells. Guard cells are surrounded by other epidermal cells. They are also called as subsidiary cells. Guard cells have rich amount of chloroplast. So both the guard cells are rich in chloroplast. Therefore, they synthesize their own food. This stomata is open and this is closed. Stomata are responsible for exchange of gases during photosynthesis, during respiration, as well as they are responsible for transportation. These are the main functions of stomata. In dicot plant, shape of guard cells is different from monocots. How it is different? In dicot plant, guard cells are bean shaped and in monocot they are dumbbell shaped. Let's see the process of opening and closing of stomata. During day, when sunlight is available, food is synthesized in guard cells because guard cells contain chloroplast. Food is synthesized during day. At this time, because of synthesis of food, flow of water take place from subsidiary cells to the guard cells and guard cells swell. When guard cells swell, the inner wall is pulled outward and open the stomata. Due to swelling of guard cells, stomata opens. But at night, when no sunlight is available, no synthesis of food takes place, and the food synthesis during day is shifted to the subsidiary cells. Because of less amount of food in guard cells, water flows back to subsidiary cells, leads to shrinking of the guard cells. When guard cells shrink, they come closer and closes the stomata. So here in this form we can understand opening and closing. All autotrophs synthesize their food by the process of photosynthesis by utilizing carbon dioxide and water, trapping solar energy in presence of chlorophyll. But they need some more materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, magnesium, etc. for building their body. Then how do they take these substances? They take up all these material from soil. When roots absorb water, they are taken up in dissolved form through water. Nitrogen is an essential element which is taken up in the form of inorganic nitrates and nitrites. Why nitrogen is important? Because nitrogen is responsible for synthesis of protein. This inorganic nitrates and nitrites are taken by all the plants. But legume plants also take organic form of nitrogen which is synthesized by nitrogen fixing bacteria. So plants are independent for their nutritional requirements. This is all about nutrition in plants. Now we'll start in heterotrophs. How heterotrophs or animals complete their nutritional requirements.